Hi guys, so welcome everyone for joining the live today. And today we are doing live with Vandana Mohan, who is a very well-renowned wedding planner. She has an experience of over 3 decades rather, and she has been organizing a lot of high-profile weddings all over India and abroad, destination weddings or abroad, and they have a clientele of about 200 weddings that they have done so far. And today our topic of discussion with Vandana would be for the lockdown brides. It's a special feature today which is for lockdown brides when it comes to organizing weddings at home while they are organizing weddings. What is the checklist that they have to follow for their skin, for their wedding? What are the things that they need to take when it comes to being COVID safe? Which clients, what wedding venues they should be selecting when it comes to taking precautions in mind, or what clinic treatments they should be choosing when it comes to keeping the precautions and COVID safety. So we're going to run through the entire checklist for the brides to be specially, and during our conversation I would be turning off the comments, so you can put in all your questions in the comment section, in the question mark section below, so that towards the end of the live I can take in all the questions. So this is a special feature for everyone, especially the brides to be, to talk about the wedding checklist, to have that glowy skin, glass skin inside out. I'm going to tag this live so that everyone who is joining a little late knows what we are talking about. And I'm just waiting for Vandana to join us. Perfect. So when it comes to brides, I always tell them that they always have that long list of planning their wedding, be it their venue, be it their their wedding dress, their jewelry, and when it comes to their skin, somewhere it always takes a back seat. So it's always a good idea to plan for your skin as you plan for your wedding. So there are brides who fall into two categories. If you have been seeing my lives and my charts on the skin, you would know what I'm talking about. It's about a bride to be who has certain skin issues like pigmentation, acne scars. They should not wait for their wedding to be just around the corner, say month apart, and then visit the clinic. They should be visiting the clinic at least 4 to 5 months prior to their wedding, so that the doctor can actually help treat their issues. But if you are a wedding who doesn't have many skin issues, who just wants that quick glow for their skin, they want to hydrate your skin, you can actually visit the clinic maybe a month or two prior. Even that's fine, because then we can work on the hydration level of the skin. But if you are looking at accentuating certain features, working upon your facial modeling, looking at your jaw tightness, maybe looking at accentuating your lips, then definitely you should be talking to your doctor well in advance to understand and come on a natural ground that as to what kind of look do you want. Hi Monica, how are you? And I can see some questions coming in. Lena here wants to know about skin pigmentations. So Lena, there can be so many different types of skin pigmentation. There can be sunspots due to photoaging. There can be melasma which keep coming in dark patches. So you need to understand what kind of sunspots or skin pigmentation you're talking about. Sometimes post-pregnancy is when those pigmentation gets even more accentuated. So first of all, you need to follow a disciplined skincare regime so that you can prevent all these things from happening. And then if you have pigmentation, then it is a good idea to start using a vitamin C based serum, use your sunblock, use certain skin depigmenting agents which will help treat the pigmentation, and increase good healthy diet routines, sleep well, because all these things also help healing the pigmentation from inside. Twinkle wants to know face wash for dry to normal skin. Twinkle, I love Cetaphil face wash for dry to normal skin. Even Filorga face wash with hyaluronic acid is a great face wash. And Rachna wants to know something for open pores. So we all have pores, Rachna, but why they're more obvious in certain skin types is depending on how much we keep taking care of them. How much clean do we keep them? So exfoliate your skin, include a retinol in your skincare regime. They will definitely help. And if you can go in for treatments like derma rollers or microneedling, they definitely help in reducing the pores on the skin. Monica wants to know side effects of hydrofacial. Absolutely not, Monica. Hydrofacial is a brilliant treatment to not only exfoliate your skin but also bring out that glow. It hydrates, lifts and tones your skin in one treatment. It's one of those go-to medifacials that one can take blindfolded for their skin because it's very, very safe and it's very, very effective. I'm just gonna check on Vandana if she's here. She is not here still. She would be joining us in a bit. And best face wash for oily skin. So Viren, I would suggest a Bioderma CBM Global is one of my favorites. Evian Clean Hands face wash is another favorite for oily acne prone skin. You can use that. Ipsha wants to know when to start retinol. I'm 26. So Ipsha, you can actually start retinol. The point is how much and how to start. Start with a very small amount. Dermaceutic retinol 0.5% or EGA or UGARD is available in the market at a regular chemist. Apply it at night, very small amount, not every night, maybe just twice in a week, and see how your skin is reacting to it. And make sure in the morning you apply a sunblock and a moisturizer because retinols do make your skin slight bit of sensitive to sunlight. Garima is saying that I'm trying to lose weight by diet, but it is showing on my face. I have some dull and tan, please suggest. So Garima, I always tell my patients, in fact, only if you could choose to lose weight and let's say fat and hair at the right places. It just doesn't go and come where you don't want. So if you're losing fat on your face and you are not liking it, then the only option to work upon is definitely look at your diet when it comes to protein and collagen intake, but also look at treatments which have fillers, which are definitely going to fill in that fat loss on the face. Carol wants to know, can one apply oil every day? So Carol, depends what kind of skin type do you have and what oil are you talking about. And then there is reason for complexion getting dark, especially my face and neck. So yeah, there are a lot of reasons for complexion getting suddenly dark. It can be insulin sensitivity. If you have a family history of diabetes, that's one major thing that you need to know. And suddenly if your skin is turning dark, then we would suggest that you run some blood checks to know what's the reason that your skin is turning dark. Increase the fluid intake, check your hormones, look at your stressors. That's something that you really need to do. Improve your vitamin C application on your skin, invest in a good sunblock, and make sure you reapply your sunblock every 2 to 3 hours on the exposed areas of the body. Monica wants to talk about hair fall and wants to know about so hair fall can be due to many reasons. Can be deficiencies, and that's why whenever a client comes to me for hair fall in my clinic, I would run a lot of blood tests to know what is the reason of hair fall. CBC, vitamin D3, B12, thyroid, serum iron ferritin levels. These are some of the basic blood checks that we like to do. After knowing what's the reason of the hair fall, we start treating it. I would give you certain serums to apply. I would improve your dietary intake of certain vitamins and minerals. And then there are treatments like PRP, which works wonderfully. And we have just introduced a new treatment called Progenera in my clinic, which definitely is a step above PRP. You have to do PRP once every month, but with Progenera, the progenitor cells which are introduced are much more targeted, and you don't have to repeat this treatment every month. It's a one-time treatment and the results last up to a year and a half. So anyone who's having really bad hair fall, they can also look at this treatment. So Rupesh wants to know about sunscreen tablets. So HelioCare White is one of the well-known oral sunscreen tablet that can be used. You can take it half an hour before stepping out in the sun, and you can have it morning and evening. It's made from Fern Block Complex. It's completely natural, no side effects, and you can take it, but that doesn't substitute the application of sunblock. You have to use a sunblock also if you're using those tablets. These tablets are going to just further protect you from sun damage. So yeah, Jogan here wants to know about Insta Sculpt. So yeah, it's super easy to use it. In fact, I'm planning to do a webinar very soon for all the buyers who are going to buy this home mini facial kit. So anyone who's joining here and don't know about it, we have introduced Insta Sculpt, which is a mini facial kit that you can do at home. It's a professional use carboxytherapy, and what it does, it removes the pigmentation of the face, it improves the dull complexion, it brightens it up. It also works on active acne marks, and this I've specially introduced to all of you, my clients, my viewers, who don't have access to the clinics and who are not able to upkeep their skin due to lockdown. So you can order this kit, do this facial at home twice in a month to make sure your skin is being taken care of. So anyone who wants to know about this kit, you can go on my Instagram page and look for Insta Sculpt. That's a wonderful professional face treatment that you can do at home. It's especially exclusively available to us from Korea. And here you go, and I'm making who's going to share all the secrets about wedding planning and how it has changed in this difficult time of COVID. Hi Vandana.
Hi Geetika, how are you?
All well, how are you?
Very good. Thank you for having me on the Insta Live. Am I audible?
Yes, pleasure is all mine because we have all heard about you so much, and weddings are no less than a big milestone or a festival in India. Even with COVID, I think that excitement when it comes to wedding hasn't gone down. I have so many patients whose weddings are being postponed and are now due
Yeah.
in November. So I feel the wedding season is back, but things have changed a little bit. And that's where I feel, Vandana, there would be no one better than you to guide the lockdown brides over here as to how they should make their weddings plannings more easier, more safe, and how to take care of that. So I'm
Well,
going to
thank you
turn
so.
off,
Yeah.
I'm going to turn off the comments, everyone over here. Please send in your questions in the question mark section, which me and Vandana would answer later. Over to you, Vandana.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think we both have a very major role to play as far as weddings are concerned. It's the most important day in a couple's life. It's the time where they have to look their best. They have to look, absolutely on point. And thanks to you and your work, wonderful work that you do, brides and grooms both, need that kind of, should I say, polishing before they come and look their best at a wedding. And then we try and add that little touch of glamour and what they want and try and make their big dream come true. So I think we both play a major role in trying to make that day very special for our brides and grooms.
So because taking away that stress is important, because stress shows on your skin, stress shows everywhere. And the major problem with stress is you can actually remove the stresses from your life if you have the right people working with you. If you have a good doctor on board, the doctor would actually guide you through your skin regime. If you have a good wedding planner on your board, then you don't have to worry about these small points. So I always, even in my clinic, I have strongly believed that if I have the right team in my clinic, I'm actually safe. My clients are safe because they are working rightfully for the right thing. So similarly, for a bride to be, for a groom to be, if you have the right team in place who helps you plan the wedding, be it your skin, be it your clothes, be it your wedding, everything is fine. So Vandana, how it has changed now? You have been in this industry over so many years, and I was going through your profile. You have been there for about 500 weddings. Oh my God, like that's a very big number.
Well, yesterday, Geetika, we completed, not in weddings, but in the event business, I completed 31 years yesterday on the 18th of September. So it's been a really long journey. And, you asked me about how things have changed over, I'm never going to talk about the COVID time, where the stresses are high. I'm sure the patients that come to you have so much anxiety and so much stress, and, sometimes they can't verbalize it too much, not to give their parents or family the same anxiety, but I'm sure it shows up in many other formula ways, your skin, your stomach, the way you are,
Yeah.
So So for COVID, actually, as you know, the government has only allowed about 100 people now after the 21st of September. So it's not easy because our families are so large, our friend circles are so large in all Indian weddings, you know. So
Yeah.
I think what the girls and boys today are doing, it's actually, there are two sides to the coin. There are ones who are disappointed and said, you know what, we're going to wait and postpone till time gets better. There are
Okay.
people who want to get on with their life. You know what I mean? They've been seeing each other for a while, or it's an arranged marriage, or they were
Yeah.
living separately, not in the same city, you know, so they want to get on with their life. So they have actually turned it around on their head and said, you know what? Let's make it intimate, let's make it fun, let's make it with the people that we really want. So for us as
Absolutely.
wedding planners also, it's a new way of life. It's really looking at the wedding in a completely new way. I mean, there is the pera, there will be the rituals, we are not cutting back on all of that, but we are making it more special for them. So, you know, a bride always wanted, for example, she wanted like a very beautiful sit down dinner, but jahan there are 500-600 people, it becomes difficult.
Yeah.
But now she's got
Yeah.
7,500 friends, she can do special things for them, you know. In gifting,
Absolutely.
she can make something so personalized for her bridesmaids and her friends. The guys can do something fun on their own as well, you know. And
Amazing.
even the family, you know, because eventually weddings are all about family. It's so the family, the grandparents, the extended aunts, the buas, the masis, everybody want to be a part of it. So we are making the wedding day very intimate, very small, and we are requesting the brides and grooms to say that, you know, if you're having a mehendi come sangeet, so there's no longer that big sangeet anymore, but nobody
Yeah.
wants to give
Yeah.
up on dancing and dolki and the DJ and the fun. We're saying
Yeah.
combine the two and let that be a youngster, so then those 100 people are only the friends on that particular day. So we are also
Gurgaon.
learning,
Yeah.
we're learning every day as we are going along. And yes, the
Yeah.
wedding season is coming up. We have weddings in October, we have some weddings in November, we have weddings in December.
Oh,
Fingers
lovely.
crossed, everything remains okay and we can be safe in our weddings from
Sure.
October
Sure.
onwards. Yes.
So yeah, similarly speaking, you know how COVID has changed the approach for beauty for brides to be. What I have felt is that now the brides to be who are coming to me are not scared of any treatments which have a downtime. So initially, all the brides to be, they were always running around in the markets doing their shopping, and there would be sun exposure. So even me as a doctor, we were hesitant to do anything which involves some laser resurfacing or something that will be a little intrusive. But now they are much at peace that, okay, I'm at home. I can take care of my skin. There was this acne scar or there was this pigmentation bothering me, doctor. I have time. I have patience. Please treat it properly. So that has given me as a doctor a lot of room to play and give them good results. So that's a very positive thing which has come out with, you know, the
And you know, one
lockdown.
thing I noticed that your clinics are open. I know that
Yes,
you are working. I know that you are
yes,
busy. I do know that, you know, all the clinics are working, and I know that they are completely safe and
yeah,
sanitized. And I know you're taking limited amount of patients every day.
yeah,
You know, I know that your processes are very, very, you know, your compliances are amazing, because I
absolutely.
know from my home personal, you know, kind of experience as well. But
Yeah,
you know, I have a question for you.
yeah.
When we were growing up, you know, Kitika, I'm
Mm,
of course, is that our beauty regimes, as it were very different, and we
mm,
didn't have access to maybe people like you. You know,
mm,
there was nobody like you when I was getting married. My home
mm,
remedies were my grandmother or my mother, maximum a
mm.
beauty parlor, and you went for a facial. You know, you went
Yeah,
for a facial
yeah.
like a week before they got married, because you weren't allowed to step out of the house after that. Um, I just find that today the girls have so much access to things that can help them if you have any kind of skin disorder, or
Yes.
if you have a special moment or a special day that you want to brighten up your, you know, your skin and
Yeah.
do all of that. Um, According to you, how important is
Mm.
this regime for any young lady today, married or not? I mean, whether she's getting married or not, or she's just a
Yeah.
growing up teenager. What is the
See, that's a
advice?
very good question, in fact, Vandana. And you know, my motto when it comes to treating anyone and everyone is that you should love the reflection that you see of yourself in the mirror. So, many patients, including brides or even regular girls, they would ask me, Doctor, you tell us what you want to do for us. And I never do that. Always tell them what is it that bothers you? What is it that you would want me to do for you? Because
Correct.
sometimes maybe for me there would be a big mole that I would want to work upon, but maybe for them it is just some lines around their eyes, crow's feet. So idea is that you should love yourself the way you are and the way you see yourself in the mirror. You should love your reflection. So be on
Correct.
that motto. And then, people, the generation now is so much into makeup. They always find quick fixes of, dressing up their skin by, looking at just covering it up with layers and layers of makeup. So always tell them that you should address the issue before you dress it up. If you have
Correct.
acne, treat it first, because no matter how much makeup you put, that acne can never be covered up and you will have more and more acne. So it is very important to treat these inborn skin issues properly. And third of all, if you have access, as you said, we have technologies with us. Now we have great cell phones, technology. We have beautiful lasers, which are painless, which are fast, which gives us such great results. So why not to, take the access and use them?
So on that note, can you just inform maybe everybody who's listening in, what are the various treatments that the clinic does? What is the various packages, I mean, the various treatments that you do in your
So
clinic?
my treatments, Vandana, for especially brides to be would depend on what are the major issues that the bride is having. So these are bespoke packages. Of course, laser hair reduction remains the basic, which is required by everyone. No one wants to keep visiting the parlor for waxing. That is damaging to the skin. But then if a bride has acne, acne scars, pigmentation, we look at treating them at least 6 months in advance from their wedding. But if a bride just wants some hydration and glow on their skin, even 2 to 3 months is good enough. Then we do some medifacials for them. We do my GG Glow, which is one of my favorite treatments from Korea, to just make their skin glow. So that even if you're rolling out of the bed without makeup in the morning, you are confident. You don't have to run to the washroom and just, start piling up makeup. You should love the skin that you are in.
You know, that's so true. I find that a lot of the young girls today don't step out of the house without putting on some base, something. It's like they're covering the naturalness of their skin all the
Yes,
time, and then they're stepping out. And of course, the excuses are, it gives me a sun block or it gives me a sunscreen and whatever. And I laugh and say, I said maybe it's a generation thing, but I literally wake up in the morning, wash my face, just about wear a kajal and walk out in sunscreen now, because over the years
yes,
we've learned how to, all
sunscreen.
our creams have the protection. But yes, you're right. The young generation tends to use a
A lot
lot
of
of things to
makeup.
cover their face. So also you're saying that a minimum a bride should be coming to anybody, you're going to say your clinic, should be a minimum of 6 months before her wedding if she
Six
just
months if they
wants
have an issue. 6 months
issue.
if they have acne, acne scars, or pigmentation, then 6 months. Otherwise, even 3 months is a good time period.
Okay. Are you saying you
Yeah,
can actually get rid of pigmentation? I mean,
absolutely.
that's
Absolutely.
really,
Why
oh,
not? And I
that's
believe,
fantastic.
Vandana, prevention is better than cure. Start applying your sunblock as you are doing every 2 to 3 hours. Start following your skin regime that your doctor has prescribed. And I think COVID has given such a great option to everyone that you can actually do virtual consults with your doctors. So it's such a
Yes.
nice thing. Go get a virtual consult, get your skin type analyzed, and follow the skincare regime. You can do so much by just sitting at home if you can prevent the damage from happening. And we are not going out, so no makeup, no pollution, no sun damage. So
Correct. Correct.
it's
Our
a
skins are
blessing.
looking better. Our skins are looking
Absolutely.
better because we're not stepping out. Doc,
But
another thing
tell,
for brides, should they be consulting a nutritionist and you together for their general regime
see, in
before they
my
get married?
clinic, I definitely run a blood check and I'm able to guide them if there are any deficiencies and give them
Correct.
supplements. But when it comes to a diet consult, wherein a bride wants like a proper regimented diet, then it's always a good idea to visit a nutritionist or a dietitian. So we don't
Yeah.
do
So
that. I will
you
look at
can
your
work
blood
in,
reports
yeah.
and tell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can work in tandem. Then you also know what the blood report is
exactly.
and what the type is. It
But
helps you.
super important tip over here for all the brides to be, please stay away from dairy and sugar. I know it's very tempting to go in the kitchen and cook and bake at this point of time, but no matter how much you do it, it's not good for your skin. Sugar is going to cause more acne. Dairy is not going to do good for your weight loss. So please stay away from it. Baking
Oh
is a
God, I
great
should stay
skill.
away from the kitchen. then I should definitely stay away from the kitchen and my midnight snacking of, dairy
Absolutely,
and
absolutely.
sugar. But
Absolutely.
no, this is
But tell
really
me,
great.
Vandana, I have a question for you. So,
Yeah.
what, like when it comes to wedding planning, I'm sure a lot of girls here who are watching this are also planning their wedding or thinking of planning their wedding soon. What kind of precautions and what are your guidelines for, say, anyone who wants to plan an intimate wedding? What are your first, like, top 10 guidelines for them?
Okay, but biggest top tip on this is be in the right frame of mind to do the wedding if you're doing it now. Don't be
Mm-hmm.
hesitant. If you're even slightly hesitant, step back.
Mm-hmm.
You're there, your groom is there, the family is there, you can get married another day. But if you're very sure you want this, the first most important thing that you have to identify is the venue, because you have to be in a safe venue.
Yes.
Let's talk about where we are today, which is in New Delhi. We are lucky that we live in a city like this, which has open areas, which has open farms, which has private farms, which have hotels have open lawns. So right now we're advising everybody to go and try and get married in a slightly open space. Not that
Yeah.
banquet halls are a problem. They're complying to everything. It's just getting over the fear factor. It's psychosomatic, literally. That
Yes,
if I'm in an
absolutely.
open space, then I'm a little more safe. So
Mm-hmm.
venue, very important. Secondly, the most difficult task for most parents and brides and grooms is limiting their guest list. I know that. So I'm advising everybody, you wanted to invite 300 people to your wedding, send everybody a beautiful email, send them a lovely gift, say we would have loved to have you at our wedding, but unfortunately because of the times we will celebrate again, and then get your only immediate 100 people to the wedding. Third is, please, make sure that the guests that you're inviting are safe. So, of course, we as wedding planners at the venue are taking all precautions. When you suppose you drive in, there are no real valet parking as such. You kind of put
Mm-hmm.
your cars and put your keys into a bag. When you're stepping in, you're walking into a complete tented area which is sanitized and fogged. When you walk into a space, we're handing over masks to you people, saying that at least for the first half an hour, keep wearing the mask till everybody is in, and we make sure that everybody who's coming in is temperature checked. All of that has
Yeah.
happened. We are going one step ahead. We are
Mm-hmm.
requesting all our families to ask if their
Mm-hmm.
guests can actually have a COVID test done 48 hours before the
That's
wedding,
better. Yeah.
which is much better. We are tying up with labs, we are saying that we will send people, we will get the testing done. It is not only for the safety of the guest, it's for the safety of the elders and for the couple and their family as well. So these are very important steps that we are taking. All of us have tied up with some sanitization company which is on board with us, which actually sanitizes not only the area that we are working, the furniture, the flowers, the fabric, the people. All
Wow.
our staff is going to be COVID checked before they come in. So, we're trying to be very careful, and
So
I
even
really
your
hope.
staff, you get them COVID tested?
We are doing our first wedding now, so we will be doing that when we are stepping out.
Oh,
We will do
yeah.
that. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Because I
Because
want to
it's
be sure.
safety. Yeah,
Yes, I want to be
absolutely.
sure that your daughter is getting married, my staff is going to be there. I hope
Yeah.
everybody is going to be safe. Even
Yeah.
though I'm sure that my staff is not gone anywhere and we're taking all the precautions. But for
Yeah.
your mental kind of health, okay, these guys are tested and they're fine. They're around me. I'm safe. So yeah,
As I
we're doing
say,
it.
like just recently, I'm supposed to travel somewhere, so I got myself tested. So I was telling them I'm not bringing any unknown surprises or gifts with me, so I'm getting myself tested. So it's
Correct.
like your personal responsibility that even if you don't have any symptoms, you can be asymptomatic. Please get
Yes.
yourself tested if you're planning to travel or you go to a wedding. So it's a good idea. So
any social
similarly,
function any
yeah,
social function. And let me just add to that, a lot of the hotels are also being very, very compliant. They are being
mm-hmm,
very particular. They are making sure there's enough distancing when you are taking. So for example, if there was a banquet hall which could house 600 people, now you're only
mm-hmm,
allowed 100 people in that. So how the food is served, where the tables are put, so there is a
yeah,
bit of social distancing. But one
yeah.
step ahead, I mean, I would be very comfortable to attend a wedding where I knew everybody was COVID tested
But
and, was okay.
absolutely. I'm totally with you. So similarly, talking about that, Vandana, even in my clinic, so when we are getting patients, of course, it's safety of my team, my doctors, and also with the patients who are coming in because they trust us. So we have been operational since the time the lockdown was lifted in Delhi. And it was a very difficult call for me to take because we were one of the first clinics in Delhi to open our doors for our patients, and patients were actually waiting. So what we have done, like from the point of entrance, so first of all, we give you appointment checking that everything is fine, you don't have symptoms in your house, and then we tell you like a proper appointment time. We want you to wait in your car till the time you are sure that you can come in and go to your room right away. We don't want you to be waiting at the reception. And once you enter, there is a sanitizing tunnel. Of course, we know the sanitizing tunnel will not just remove COVID from your body, but from your shoes, from your clothes, from your
Basically.
belongings. It definitely
Exactly.
cleans up that. Yeah. Then
Correct.
once you come inside, we do a temperature check. We check your oximeter. We check your Arogya Setu app in your phone. We make sure that you wear proper mask. So we don't want our clients to be wearing those filter masks. They are not safety prone. So wear a proper surgical mask, hand gloves, cap, shoes. You make sure you wear all of that and then you come inside. And when you come inside, you are taken right away to your clinic room where your treatment is planned, and that room is again fumigated. We fumigate it at least 3 to 4 times every day, be it the surfaces, be it the walls, everything, so that you are safe. And a staff is always wearing their suits with a mask and a shield so that you are safe, and we make them sign a disclaimer to check their family and
Yes.
themselves. So
Absolutely.
safety is something that we all want. It's just not for this other person, but also for the self. So we have to
Absolutely.
abide by the rules.
No, it's
Very
become
well.
such a norm. It's become such a norm today that it's like, when we used to do contracts and you
Hmm.
know how everybody does payment contracts, payment details, or so and so. The first agenda on the contracts is COVID-19 safety, or the precautions, the sanitization, so that the clients and us are both responsible. You see, it's okay for me to be responsible. I have to
Yeah,
make sure that even my clients are responsible to whom they invite and people that they invite, so collectively we are responsible for a wedding. You're collectively
absolutely.
responsible with your clients for your
Absolutely.
reputation, your clinic
Yeah.
as well.
But
Should we
tell
see
me
if there are any
something, Vandana.
questions?
There are loads, but
Okay,
I have
sorry.
one question for you.
Sure.
Like the bride and the groom are the one who are actually receiving the gifts and meeting all the visitors. So any like do's and don'ts that you tell the bride and groom to follow just to keep
No
themselves safe?
gifts, no gifts really now. So we're trying not to have this contactless thing. So people are actually sending it home, or if there is any, in India we give a lot of cash gifts and stuff like that. We're trying to avoid those. People are understanding that. So maybe they are
Yeah.
sending it home to them. But on the wedding day, we are not accepting any gifts. We're not
Brilliant.
telling
So even
people.
like there are a lot of online registries now available wherein the bride and groom can
Yes,
select, right? So
correct,
similarly for
correct.
us, like we tell our clients to send in their reports and prescriptions beforehand, either on WhatsApp or an email. We don't
Yeah,
want you to have files being carried around. And
no.
similarly, we don't want to have any cash transactions in the clinic. So we want you to either do bank transfer or get cards so that we can ourselves be responsible for more and more safety. Very
Absolutely,
well.
we've got to try and do as much contactless. The only one that we're always the only one who is going to be having some kind of contact with them is probably the Panditji, who we make sure, and we are making sure that he's absolutely safe and he's good, and he's normally a family Pandit. So it's
Absolutely.
this,
People
and everybody
trust.
sits, yeah, everybody sits on a distance. So we're making sure that we try and do as much as possible. Yeah.
So we have a question here from Garima. She has a wedding planned in December. Congratulations, Garima. And she's saying, I'm
Congratulations.
trying to lose weight, but it is showing on my face. It's looking very dull. And I'm sure, Garima, it's something that you're not looking to get when you're losing weight. But as I said, you can't choose weight and hair to go at the places that you don't want. So it's one of those. If you're trying to lose weight, it is bound to go from your face as well. Increase your protein intake, increase your collagen intake. And if it is really bothersome around your eyes or cheeks, which is making you look very, very weak, you can always go for fillers. They are actually very safe, and that's the only option available. And then we have questions for body lasers. There is no disadvantage to that. It's completely safe, US FDA approved. So go for it. Don't wait for it. It's good investment of time and money. And I have a question for you. Someone
Oh.
wants to know, how are you doing today?
Doing very well, thank you. Very happy, very good, home, safe. Very happy to be on this chat and learning a few things. Yes.
And then there is a question about wedding planning. Natasha wants to know how many guests are allowed, and do you have an anchor for the show during the COVID time?
Well, the number of guests by the government after the 21st of September is 100 people. Now, those 100 people are really up to you. You want to have an anchor in those 100 people, so it's 99 plus one anchor or not. So it's really dependent on what you are doing, but you have to keep to that limit of 100, definitely.
So even if someone hires, say, a private farm, you have to abide by
Yes.
all the rules,
Yeah,
right?
it is 100. It is 100 people. Absolutely.
Fair enough. And then one more question for you. What are some of the challenges you face as a wedding planner?
Well, wedding planning is a challenge, but in today's times, I think our challenges are like anybody else, or like Gitika would have at her clinic, and is safety, is making
Yeah.
sure that compliances are adhered to. We make sure that people are responsible and that they're safe. And one of, I think, the challenges that we are getting over now is how to do meetings. So we've all learned how to do Zoom calls, but at a wedding, touch and feel conversations, face to face always matter. So when we are doing our meetings, we are meeting in open spaces, open areas. We're standing afar and doing that. So that's a bit of a challenge, but we're overcoming. Now we are learning how to be tech savvy, Zoom meetings, everything is on an email, and fewer meetings. And especially for food and beverage, I think that whole concept of tasting, I think it's just being sent home. So, they're giving it their, views on that. So it's a new way of working in wedding planning. Everything is remote control, and yet you're very connected because you're actually speaking face to face, like Itika and I are, to my clients, if not once, but 3 times a day. So,
Yeah,
it's more,
I
it's
would
more
say,
meetings now.
yeah, I would exactly agree. Like initially, my clients, I would see them in the clinic, but now with virtual consults, I'm actually able to review them better. And even with my Mumbai clients, because I'm not able to visit Mumbai as of now, I'm able to keep in touch and give my consults even while in Delhi. And also small cities, why just Delhi and Mumbai? Everyone has
Yeah.
access and you can virtually consult. So there are good points.
Yeah, we are
And of course,
consulting. We are consulting
yeah.
with a girl in Bhuj, sitting in Bhuj. We are consulting with somebody sitting in Vizag. You said, somebody in Dubai. So that way, it's excellent that we managed to reach that
Absolutely.
many more people.
Absolutely. So that brings us to an end of a wonderful conversation. I think we have answered most of the questions. Thank you, Vandana, for joining us. It was a
Thank you so
wonderful,
much, Gitika, and I hope to see you at the clinic soon. I have to make that
absolutely,
maiden visit. I have to do that.
absolutely.
Yes.
Would love to see you sometime. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.